So Resident Evil 5, I can see why people say this is the fall off of the Resident Evil series. So again, I did try to play Resident Evil 5. I was able to boot it up this time and play it. So I was trying to see how far I can get while waiting for my brother to get off work so we could play co-op. And I'm doing the first mission and crash. Right after I finished the mission, nothing saved. Tried to give it another chance. Crashed again. Downloaded some mods to make it look a little bit better and stop the crashing. No, that did not help. Crashed again. And like I said, I'm streaming these games live on Twitch. I didn't really feel like fucking with the game, constantly trying to get it to run. I had a lot of people in chat telling me, you know, you played this as a kid, which is true. I did play 5 growing up with my cousins. I didn't really care too much about story. There's only a few things that I remembered, and that was Sheva, number 1. I cannot forget that. I remember ripping something off of Jill's chest, and I remember Wesker being the coolest nigga ever. And those all still stand. Oh, I also remembered Chris beating the shit out of a boulder. Bro, mix that rock, nigga. Cause bro thought he was Kratos, I guess. I remember basically playing the game enough. So what I did was I watched a recap video of the story, and I got that the BSAA and the Ouroboros and all that shit. I remember the end being similar to JoJo Part 2, where you basically dump the villain in some lava, and Wesker is dead. Wesker is too cool to kill off, so I genuinely hope he's not dead. But I do remember this game being way more action-oriented than fucking horror-oriented for sure, because I definitely played it so much as a kid. I remember playing it a lot co-op. Also trying to play solo by yourself. The AI fucking sucks. Shocker. Like, I mean, I know this is an old game. I know it came on 360. I don't think Resident Evil 5 is a bad game. I think it's a terrible port on PC at least. I do think it needs some type of remaster remake though. I can see what they were going for overall as a series. I mean, co-op is super fucking rad in a Resident Evil game, especially if you have someone to play co-op with. If you don't, it kind of sucks. Not really scary anymore, but I mean, that's not too big of a deal. I mean, there's still some grotesque, creepy shit. It just didn't really feel too much like a Resident Evil game. The character models were kind of all over the place. Chris over here sounding like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, sorry. It's nothing. Let's go.
Coming in for a hard landing, Tails.
I don't really have too much to say about Resident Evil 5. Like, I did try to play it. That's the one game I do recall playing as a kid is Resident Evil 5 on the 360 back in the day with all my cousins. I can see where this is the full change. Like, Resident Evil 4 was full action, but still had the horror elements. Resident Evil 5 had, like, maybe, like, 5% of horror elements, 95% just, like, co-op action game, which isn't bad overall. It's very different from the other Resident Evil games, which were really crazy. Is Resident Evil 6. So I remember when this game came out, I was a kid, and I don't know if you guys remember, there's this thing called Redbox, where you could go up and like rent a game for like $2 a day. And I remember Redbox had the Resident Evil 6 down the street, you know? So I got on my skateboard, I rode down the street, I picked up the Resident Evil. I remember putting it into my system and like starting it up and being like, what the fuck is this game, bro? Like, I remember playing it for like maybe like an hour, bro, and being like, yeah, I'm putting this shit back, bro. This is not for me. And then it was also a co-op game. I didn't have anyone to play with at that time. Replaying it this time, I'm not gonna lie, it deadass feels like you're playing the Time Crisis arcade game where you're shooting at the screen and then you have to reload, aim off the screen. That's what the whole kind of game feels like, to be honest. Like, it's so fucking bizarre playing this game. The other thing that like kind of ties it to Resident Evil is the fact that they're zombies and the characters are kind of the same. And I mean kind of the same because like Ada doesn't even look like Ada. Chris, I mean, kind of looks like Chris. I mean, I know they change the models all the time, but like in this game, I don't know. In this game, I feel like the models were all over the place. Nobody really looked like themselves. I didn't even know who the fuck people were. The only model that was on point was Deborah. Deborah's model was pretty nice, I will say.
Harassed instantaneously.
She did have massive cannons, so she's important, clearly. Hella ass in my face. Hell, god damn! Oh my god! That boss fight was pretty cool. Resident Evil 6 definitely has some cool ass moments. Like at the very end when you're fighting the fucking super demon creature. Leon does this little fucking shoot thing and it like bounces off and ricochets, and there's some cool ass moments for sure. Leon, shoot that nigga in the head. Ooh.
Wait, that was so hard, bro. What the fuck?
What? Oh. Beat his ass, Leon. He punches boulders, though. Story is all over the place. We just played Leon's campaign co-op, me and my brother. I didn't really feel inclined to play the other storylines. It kind of just felt like there was just alternate, like, versions of the same story. So, like, playing Leon's, I kind of got the idea of the whole story. It was kind of just, like, seeing it from other people's perspectives. So I was like, oh, I don't think I need to really replay this. I could probably just move on to 7, right? I will say, there are some other cool things, too, like Wesker having a son. I was like, oh, shit. He just be running hands. That's pretty cool. Sherry Birkin from Resident Evil 2. That I didn't even know about because I was like, she kind of seems familiar, but like I said, I did not play Claire on Resident Evil 2, so I'm going to go back and play Claire eventually. But yeah, honestly, the part I was most mad about was Ada. Why does she look like that? That was not Ada, bro. That shit pissed me off. Like, what did you do to my queen? It just didn't feel like a Resident Evil game. It felt like, literally, it felt like playing Time Crisis, like at the fucking arcade. It did not feel like Resident Evil. I can see where this is probably killed off a lot of the fans. I can imagine being like super hyped for this game. Like, especially playing 4, seeing people play 4, and I've played the remake of 4, and I know the blueprint was there for 4, like, even especially playing, like, 2, 3, and then 4. 4 was probably, like, fucking, like, the Skyrim for Resident Evil games back then, if I was, like, on that shit back then. I can imagine then having 5 and being like, okay, this is different, but it's a co-op game, I'm fucking with it. And then 6 dropping and being like, bro, what? Like, everyone I know who fucked with Resident Evil was like, yeah, 6 was something else, bro. Like, I don't remember the story, because it was, like, it wasn't memorable, and it didn't seem like, overall, a Resident Evil game. And I feel that. I don't think it's a bad game. I think playing co-op is probably the one, like, thing you have to do to kind of enjoy this game, though. I don't see how you could play this game solo and have a good time in it. Maybe that's just me. It'd be kind of hard to enjoy this game to the fullest if you were playing solo. That's probably why I also didn't enjoy it back in the day. But I see why after this game, they took a few years off and were like, all right, we got to scrap this shit, and they came back to 7. So, yeah, this is a really short video. I know it's off of 2 games, but, like, I mean, we beat 6, I think, in a little over 6 hours of the Leon's campaign. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you like and subscribe so we get to the next part, which will be Resident Evil 7 and 8. Don't forget, I'm playing all of these games live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Andre. I'll be streaming usually Monday through Friday around 6 p.m. to around 10 p.m. Pacific time. If I'm not streaming, I'm most likely editing a video. I'm very active on Instagram, so if you want to see what the schedule's looking like, you can always follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Andre. Shocker. So once again, thanks, guys, and hope to see you in the next video.